Hello, Reckless RJ, and I am back again with another video. And this is what I call a TLDR update. If you don't know what that means, it means too long, didn't read. I have a lot of friends and they do not read updates like this because they do not like to read. So, this is for all of you guys. If you're somebody like that, just click that subscribe button or join us on Discord and I'll get right into everything. So they mix the event with some game updates at the same time in these notices. But we're going to start with the event updates. So all the normal stuff is up there. You already know what to expect with that. But then here's where it gets interesting with the EXSP update. So with the way they set this up, EX is extreme, I'm assuming, and we got that last week. It was really hard at first, and then a lot of people started to figure out how to maneuver around it and how to beat it. This time, they're introducing SP, which I'm assuming is special, and there's multiple twists with this. So, first thing we're going to start with is that there are only technique guys allowed. You cannot use speed and you cannot use power. And considering the last couple of events have been speed focused, you can't bring any of those guys in here, which makes this a bit more difficult, especially for anybody that started playing recently, because now all of a sudden you can't use most of the people that you got. This is in an effort, and I believe, to get people to farm the tall geese. It's actually a pretty good kit anyways. I would have done it anyways. But the tall geese is a technique type, and you're going to need a technique type to get into these fights. However, it's not just that you need a technique. It's the fact that you cannot use anything that is not a technique. So your gunpla has to be a technique, and then the two allies with you, if they're going to be involved, have to also be a technique type. So this is an interesting twist that they added here. But then there's another twist, and there was a lot of people that beat the extreme last week, and they did it by being basically running around the map and having somebody that was much stronger than them come in as a relief and kill everything for them. So this time for the specials, they made it specifically so you cannot bring a relief gunpla, which means a lot of people are going to struggle with this, and I don't know how many people are going to be able to beat it, because you cannot bring anything that is not a technique in, and you also cannot bring a relief gunpla. So this adds another twist to it. Then there's 2 levels to this special, so both have different rewards when you achieve them, and they both seem like they're going to be extremely difficult because they're all mixed into high difficulty with the extreme. So I'm looking forward to this weekend to see what exactly do they have in store for us. And that actually brings me to my next point. These special missions are only going to be available on the weekend. They made it so that it's only going to be available for about 3 days, and because of that, it's going to give us a couple of days, about 4 days total, to hurry up and try and build everything. And I'm kind of intrigued by this because I would know a lot better on how to build my character if I knew what I was facing. So that's probably exactly why they did it that way. I have an idea of what I'm going to do. I'm trying to have my gunpla up to about 9,000 shot attack by the time this comes into play. And no, I am not buying. It's just, you can get creative with this game if you get lucky in the right pieces. But I'm aiming for about 9,000 shot attack, and I'm hoping that that'll carry me through, even though I know my other gunplas are going to be a lot weaker and a lot less able to contribute to this fight. So I'm looking through one more time, and yeah, the biggest things is that you're not going to be able to call in any relief. It has to be a technique. It's only going to be 2 levels, but they have some pretty good rewards with the awakening circuits, and it's only going to be for about 3 days, so you're going to have to find the time in those 3 days if you're busy on the weekend to get this stuff done, because it's not going to be available at any other time. One thing, I don't know if the restriction on the extreme is no continues. However, I'm noticing as I look through, I don't see anywhere where it says you cannot continue on the special mission. So that might be a helpful way. Save up those heroes again. So we're going to move back on now. For this part, is only one thing that you really need to notice. They said they increased the drop rates. I know that on my very first spin, I managed to get a hyper I think it's Hyper Bazooka Gun or whatever the name is. On the very first one, it was a 7-time multiplier. So I was happy with that, and I saved the other 3,000 heroes I had. I'm saving that for next week. So here's where it gets a little interesting. The hero update, the very first part of this, is that it already happened yesterday. It happened actually mixed in with the event update. So you didn't really get notice of it. It just happened. So they put the hero AI pilot into the friend points capsules. I didn't really notice it. I haven't actually looked to see if they did it or not. I just know that they said they did it in the game. So I'm sure sooner or later I'll take note. Hey, I saw this guy in there. But that's what happened yesterday. Then you have stuff that's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know if it's going to be either later, like later in the day, or as soon as it hits midnight, or what's the plan with that. I didn't see a note in there. Correct me if I'm wrong. But last video I made a comment that I felt like the free missions and that the daily missions were underwhelming. And then I don't even know if it's been 24 hours since that video. They made notice that they are going to update these. For the free missions, specifically on hard mode, they're going to add a code, I'm assuming Omega, Gunpla's parts as a rare drop for those missions. I, again, don't have any experience with this game or any of the other games or the TV shows, so I don't know if Omega is supposed to be a really good character or not. It remains to be seen on whether that's actually worth noting or not for me. Then you have adjusting the dailies. They upgraded the rewards for all of the dailies except for the mass capital. They left that one where it's at, which is the only one I said that I felt was a pretty good one that I would keep running over and over. So that's going on. And then there's a lot of other visual and transfer data items that they mentioned they were trying to work on the kinks to get those out. And the only thing I really thought was interesting was that they said they're going to change where the beginner's guide takes you when you tap it. I always thought that was a little bit weird that the beginner's guide took you to achievements instead of an actual beginner's guide with a whole lot of notes about the game and everything. So I am a little excited that they changed that. Maybe I can look through it and find some things that I didn't even know and bring them to you guys. But I always thought that was an issue. So that's all for me. Reckless RJ. If you like this video, subscribe. And this was your TLDR update. Have a good day.